Hey, I've got a secret to tell you. The most important aspect of living in Singapore. So watch this video before you decide to move in. Alright, let's start with the basic. This is where you will spend the bulk of your salary, your rent, and the utility bills. To live in Singapore comfortably, you will need at least $700 to $1,000 per month on rent and utility per person. If you have someone sharing with you, it probably can be slightly lower, but definitely not less than $500. Although there's a lot of factor in determining the price of the rent, generally, the closer the place is to the central business district or public transport or any amenities, the higher the price it will be. Now, I want to talk about education now because I don't really have a lot of information about it, so let's get it over and done with. If you're looking for education for like maybe preschool to primary school, secondary school, or even junior colleges, I'm sorry, I don't know a lot about it. I came into Singapore after graduating high school to do my tertiary study, which is supposed to cost me about 60,000 Singapore dollars. And that's tuition fee alone, by the way. But I've got a scholarship, so yeah, pro tip for you to save money. Of course, different courses from different institutions vary a lot in tuition fee, but if you're coming in as an international student, I would suggest you to go to the official website of the school and browse the course that you're interested in. The tuition fee are usually listed out very clearly. Just be mindful that there's a huge difference between fees for international students and the local residents. Singapore is a very small country and it's very well connected by public transportation. So it's very convenient to be traveling within the country. Now, I know some Singaporeans would disagree with that statement, but really, just be thankful. I mean, nothing is perfect. So I will not be a reporter to be telling you how much is the fare from one station to another. No one wants to watch me doing that anyways. Instead, I'm here to show you this. EasyLink card is a card that you can use for buses and trains and sometimes in convenience store when you're craving for the brownies. I usually spend about $70 per month and it's always enough. If you're a driver with an international license who prefers driving than public transportation, well, there's a few things to keep in mind. First of all, cars in Singapore is a lot more expensive as compared to any other countries. And then there's COE, basically buying yourself a certificate to own a car for 10 years and renewal is needed. There's also extra taxes like the additional registration fee and excise duty. And there's also car plate number fee, road tax, loan interest, car dealer's commission, insurance, petrol, ERP, and parking fee. Oh, now that's a mouthful. Anyway, sort all those things out, you are a proud car owner. So I don't cook. Not that you can't, just that I don't. And I have good reasons. Food is just so easily available in Singapore. There's hawker centers, there's restaurants, fast food chains, cafes, dessert places, you name it. Everyday meal from kopitiam or hawker center will cost you about $3 to $5, but it also depends on where is the hawker center located. So for example, if it's in the CBD area or maybe the rent is a lot higher, you probably have to pay a bit more. But generally, you will be paying for more than $8 in a kopitiam. Fast food chains will probably cost you about $6 to $10, and a Subway meal with a cookie and a drink is my favorite. It only costs you $5.90. Now when it comes to restaurant, it really depends on how atas or how high-end is the restaurant. So for a normal person-friendly restaurant, it probably costs you about $15 to $30 per person. But if you're looking into fine dining and like Gordon Ramsay or Jamie Oliver kind of restaurant, well, definitely $50 and above. And also be mindful that there is our good old friend GST. Cafes usually cost you about $30 and above. Yeah, even for cakes and drinks. But it's the ambience you're paying for. If you're a fan of boba, good news. There is a whole lot of choices that you can choose from. So many different brands. And usually cost you about $6 to $10 per cup. Entertainment and recreation can either burn a hole in your wallet or be completely free of charge. You're the one who decides. General entertainment like movies will cost you about $9 to $13, depending whether or not it's a weekend or a weekday movie. Aside from that, if you're into gym, yoga, dance classes, pottery, arts and craft workshop, or anything along that line, signing up a package will probably cost you about $100 to $300 per month. Now if you're not into all those stuff, fret not. There's also a lot of budget-friendly activities in Singapore. Things like having a picnic in the park, or maybe just jogging around your neighborhood. Public swimming pool costs you less than $5. Now I have a lot to say about this. Similar to education, healthcare costs in Singapore is a lot more expensive for foreigners. And reasonably so. They are ranked number 6 in the world by World Health Organization. Until date, they're still holding that place. If you're sick and need outpatient GP treatment, it will cost you about 40 to 50 bucks. But if you need emergency services, A&E in the hospital across Singapore will take an upfront payment of 120 to 130 bucks, and medication is excluded. However, something to note is that if you call an ambulance for non-emergency cases, you will be charged 274 extra. Otherwise, it will be free. So yes, if you're not dying, take the cab. Hospital wards are divided into different categories, or we call it class status here in Singapore. Now naturally, the higher the class status, the more expensive it will be. So why is there a distinction, you might ask? Well, while the healthcare team and the treatment plan will be the same, the hospital wards facility will be very different. Also, medical procedure, medical imaging, diagnostic treatment, and medications are all charged separately. So yes, if you don't want to sell your kidney just to pay hospital bills, be sure you're adequately covered with health insurance. If you're still watching the video until now, I guess you probably is very interested in the smaller red dot over here. So comment below and tell me what else do you want to know about Singapore, and that might be the next video. And I guess that's all for today. I'll see you guys soon. Bye!